is to be that is some sign of respect, and we should show that, give the Prime Minister that prop. That whenever corruption or allegation arise, the Prime Minister acted in the utmost respect for the Jamaican citizens.
So when Golden speaks of corruption, where is the evidence?
This is what Mr. Golden has been doing for a long time, the mudslinging. They are trying every way they can to fling things at the Prime Minister. They've seen where nothing has stuck.
Come on here and point to me. Where is this evidence of corruption that is being spoken of, or is this just one love?
Yes, man, I'm here.
Listen. The deliberate attempt to malign the Prime Minister Andrew Holness is classism. Is it racism? Is it classism?
It will be more of a classism, you know. But neighbor, you have to remember that the PMP have a way, you know, of cowboy and Indian. The cowboy target the Indian chief, you know, because when you get rid of the Indian chief, they scattered, you know. They have to regroup. So the PMP have a style of politics over the years to attack the leader at the JLP. Because if they win that battle, they win the war.
Well, it is fascinating and it is fantastic to watch. I want my goodness. So why are they conceding the election? Well, no, why are they conceding it?
Because remember the PMP did a poll late last year, you know, that nobody hear about, you know. Dayton Campbell said it on the platform that the PMP is doing a poll. I think it was about September, October last year. Nobody hear anything about that poll. No, why would you do a poll in your party? And if it is in your favor, you don't publish it. So, Mr. Golden, that this much credit I can give him is he resist to the ground.
Okay, so when they were 9 points ahead, one love, because he mentioned that they were 9 points ahead, everything was okay. But yeah, now they have lost 4 points. Anderson is sold out. That's not a credible argument.
Yeah, but it's a combination of things, you know. Mr. Anderson over the years published one poll like 9 months going into an election. He has a poll but always putting the PMP ahead. And then 2 weeks before the election, Mr. Anderson released the right poll. So one of the polls is to campaign for the party, for his party. And one is a real poll to save his reputation. All of those, if combined together, you know, have an effect, you know. So it's going to show you a whole heap of skullduggery and foolishness.
Welcome back to Primetime.
I'm sorry about that. The Anderson poll, though, you know, one love, had telltale signs for the PNP, you know, if you look at it, you know, sir.
Yeah, but it wasn't, if you notice it wasn't really detailed, you know. You have to read between the lines. You have to read with understanding to see what it is saying.
You're a sensible man.
Neighbor, let me say about poll release. The fact that the Gleaner and Cliff uses pattern on this, release this poll on a Saturday. And not only on a Saturday, but they put it at page 3. Not heading page 3, but at the bottom of page 3. It means that this poll cannot stand up to scrutiny. It means that the Gleaner themselves don't believe in it.
Have you ever seen one law in Jamaica, the party standing so close to an election, the results being released on a Saturday?
A poll has never been released in Jamaica on a Saturday.
Well, they may Sunday on a Saturday, but the party standing is being released on a Saturday.
Exactly, something so substantial. The party standing is what most persons look for. You wouldn't expect that on a Saturday. Again,
well, the only thing that could mean is that the Gleaner does not want a wide readership of the results.
Neighbor, if you remember Saturday, you know, remember me, you and Scratchy. You was on the live Saturday and we was talking about it, and you were saying that Sunday the real poll is going to come out.
I said that.
Thank you. There is no poll. There is no more poll yesterday.
It never came out.
Again, neighbor, what I think is a mere fact that the Gleaner understand the polls, and anyone who understand the polls understand and know that despite the People's National Party having a 5-point lead, 5 points is not enough to bring them across the victory line. 5 points won't give them enough seats. They need the People's National Party need at least a 10 to 12 point lead to swing this election in their direction.
And that is not going to happen.
And that is not going to happen. And Mark Golding understand the poll. He's not happy about the 5-point lead either. You know that the 5-point lead is not enough. Anyone with sense who understand polls know that 5 points is not enough.
When you take the margin of error from it, because you just run with the poll and you have to remember the margin of error.
Even if we should give the margin of error the plus, because it's plus or minus. Even if we should give the margin of error the plus, 5% is not enough for the People's National Party to win
18 seats. To win 18 seats.
To win, they need 18 seats. In order to win 18 seats, they need at least a 12-point swing in your direction that they don't have right at this point.
Listen to Campbell.
Some even go PNP in here. Leave me, yet will I trust him. Do I have some even go PNP in here? Even though I might not get what I want, I am going to vote for the People's National Party. So
you hear that? Even though I may not get what I want, I'm going to vote for the People's National Party. What is Mr. Campbell saying?
Even without a message, without any policies, without any programs, they're expecting you to still come out and vote for us.
Evangelist Campbell, what is he saying? Listen to him again.
Yet will I trust him. Do I have some even though in here? Even though I might not get what I want, I am going to vote for the People's National Party. So on my appointed time, I am going to wait until my change come. God bless you. The word is love.
Oh my God.
I'm going to have to get in touch with Mr. Campbell. He needs to come and preach for me. Even though I may not get what I want, I will still vote for the People's National Party. You know, Scratchy, what do you think about that?
As I said, neighbor, what he's basically telling us is that Zenik, mute please. What he's basically telling us, neighbor,
yeah, good evening.
Without,
listen what go on, man.
No, I say mute. If you can just mute your mic. I get a feedback. Yes, neighbor, he's basically telling us that even though you're asking about what is our policy, what is our programs, what are we coming with, you're supposed to still come out and vote for the People's National Party without that. And as I said, neighbor, we have a more intelligent electorate.
But that is a cultic philosophy, sir.
That can only connect with your base. That type of message would only connect with your base. And again, neighbor, I've said this before and I'm going to say it again. The People's National Party is only campaigning towards their base. They are not campaigning towards Jamaica on a national level.
But you couldn't go up to Black Seal strategy and go tell people, say, even though they may not do what they want, they must still vote. It isn't a ideology. Oh my goodness.
Good evening, my general.
Good evening.
Really sit down and listen to Dayton Campbell?
Eh? Hello?
Somebody really sit down and listen to Dayton Campbell?
We are not
Well, he's a Gen Sec at the opposition party, you know, and he represents the opposition party and the electoral committee. So, maybe you're saying that we are practicing the kakistocracy, but the fact remains, he's a man.
That man never said nothing constructive yet. That's why I wonder how people listening.
He's a general secretary.
Because neighbor, if you should remember, even in the presentation that that Mark, the opposition leader, was speaking over the weekend, there was a part in this presentation where he said that persons are waiting for the policies of the People's National Party, and they are strategically going to roll out these policies because they don't want the Jamaica Labour Party to steal their plans. This is just to show that this party is way behind. They think this is 1989 same way. They don't realize this is 2025, where the electorate is much more intelligent. Information is now at our fingertips. People have the ability now to decide right from wrong, choices from programs, policies. That is what we want, and the People's National Party.
But Mr. Neighbor,
yet to come forward with any of these.
Can I say something?
You can.
Can I say something? You see, these young people nowadays, they have planned from their growing up, from primary school, right back to university. And let me tell you something. All these kids, what Andrew preaching, that's what they want to hear. They want to have a good job, drive a nice car, have a good job, drive a nice car, and have a house at early age. Early
All
age
right,
in their life.
Mummy, you say something right.
You have to have a plan.
I respect that.
You have to have a plan in this life. Not in my life. I am an old staggerly. But you have to have a plan in this life. You know what I realize with them? I'm watching them and listening to them every day. Every time Chuck go on a line, not Chuck alone, but every time one of the JLP go on a line, I really listen. They're afraid of Chuck. They're afraid of Chopper. I can't call all of them names. But I listen to them. They can't contest them. Because these JLP young people is a different set of people from me. I am Hugh Shearer, Tiaga. And these young people nowadays, Google are them best friend and them try to find the facts. I sit down and I listen to them because some of the words them attack me can't pronounce it. But I listen to them and I use my common sense to myself. But let me tell you something. Mark Golden always call people poor. Don't stop it. Stop calling Jamaica. That's a curse you put it on black people. Don't do that. Because these young people don't want to hear about poor. Because everybody want to reach an unlimited part of life. So you don't come with that. Nobody gonna listen to you. That's why you see the young people then behind Andrew. Andrew said, listen to me. Everybody must have wealth. And everybody fighting for that. Because I wish I could live over my life. This would be a different me. So when you're coming from you don't have a platform. You don't have a platform like the JLP platform where you sit down and listen and take in what they're saying that you can make a decision. No, they just come up with pure lie, propaganda. But when you come on it, you know, I was listening to this guy, Master, what is ever his name? And Chuck asking one question, he can't answer him, go round the can, he go over the hill, he come on the valley, and he go over and he go round. When your people ask him the question, he can't answer. They don't have an answer. But let me tell you something.
Tell me a little bit about your view of Andrew Holness. You say you're coming from Hugh Shearer days. You had Shearer, you had Siaga, you had Golding, you have Holness. So tell me a little bit about Holness. What do you feel about him?
Let me tell you the truth, Mr. Neighbor. I had a best friend, and I'm in America over 20 years now. And let me tell you something. And one day she come to me and said to me, she had a nice house in Avondale. She called me and she said to me, the government had 28 bank book. I said, look how poor me is. And when you was in a problem, I could lend you money. Because I throw partner. I could lend you money. Nothing wrong with that. It's a little boy like how you. I come from St. Elizabeth and reach a town and have a house at Avondale. How you come by it? Eh? Remember, we used to sell at Princess Street. And you find yourself in a position, live downtown, no more you gone uptown. Be proud of you. I'm glad for you. You know when me tell her, me say come off of my phone and don't call me. After election, I call her. From last year, I don't call her. And let me tell you something. Andrew Owen is, I respect him. I respect him. I stayed through the glass and watching him. The way he deal with the young people, even the babe and suckling. Andrew. I called my daughter, my granddaughter one day. I hear she crying. Andrew was passing. And a lump of young girls, they were and I crying and she in temper. Me say, what happened? I didn't touch Andrew. Oh God, Andrew. Me say, what happened? Andrew, we love Andrew. I saw the young people, them a cry for Andrew. Andrew teaching them how to fish, not to hands up like in my days. We hands out and a beg a thing, and then wait. And that, no. The young people, them want to live good. Live good. So me always stay online and watch them. Because me listen to the JLP. Me see one young youth say, we go university, say, you know, I was passing the line. And he say, I have to stop here on the JLP line because it make a lot of sense. All they talking, he was there and his phone and his friend them were there and they were fact checking. Everything is like nothing like that propaganda. So my Golden is, he's stressed out now, you know. He's in trouble and he's stressed out now. Because, you know, I don't know if he can make it, but I hope to God they open a good hospital that he can go into after election.
Oh, you think he needs to go to the hospital afterwards?
Yes, and you know, so write it in our head to Mr. Neighbor. He's not so write it in our head.
Dr. Sapphire Longmore has raised that as a psychologist,
yes,
that something is wrong.
I tell you, sir, something is wrong, sir. Very much. Something is wrong. He talks some things. I want me and my Tapanaris to run this. Come on, are you kidding me? Oh God. Take over, please take over, Mr. Neighbor.
You know, Neighbor. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
You know, Neighbor, we had Jamaica Day, and Mark was nowhere around to celebrate Jamaica Day with us and your vines for the Prime Minister. Nowhere around. That a lot of people is looking at that in a Neighbor. A lot of people looking at it. Instead, he was in wherever he was, telling lies. Mark know who commissioned that poll, and before him talk the truth, that simple little thing, he was unable to say the cleaner, the RJ or cleaner, or some private people. He knows that that's a lie. Those are the little things that I'm very, very scared about with Mark Golding. Very, very scared.
Go ahead, Scratchy.
Again, neighbor, to add to what again, Jamaicans are looking, Jamaicans are viewing, Jamaicans are seeing what this opposition party has to offer, and it is nothing. They have nothing to offer to the masses of this country. Andrew Michael Holness has set the bar so high that it is inevitable. It is hard for the People's National Party to even match 25% of that. They cannot come with no policies. They cannot come with no program. There's nothing that they can come with to counter what this government is doing, neighbor. We are on the right path, and we're going to stay steadfast, and we will definitely be getting this third term. And I want to say to the People's National Party, no need to be jealous. We are not biased, or we are not selfish. We're also going to give you guys your third term as well. So both of us will get our third term. We will get third term in government. You will get third term in opposition. Simple as that. No need to fuss or fight. Both of us will get third term.
Please stop up the live, please, and send your gift. Tap up the live, please. Tap up the live and send your gift.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Scratchy, say that again.
Yes, both of us gonna get the third term. It's a third term for the two parties. I don't see why we're fussing and why we're fighting. The Jamaica Labour Party will get third term in power. The People's National Party will get third term in opposition. We are not selfish. We're gonna share the third term. Both of us gonna get third term. No need to fuss or fight.
Balance. But you know, 1 minute, one love. You know, I saw something today. Mark came out and spoke about the guarantor. Said they were the ones that mentioned it, or they're the one that spoke out. And right away the labor rights them draw for the manifesto. Right away. Them shoot down Mark and tell Mark, you're lying. It was in our manifesto from 2020. When 2020, in our 2020 manifesto, we only the commitment that we made, we lived up to our commitment.
Hold on there.
When I'm talking, just sound like, me don't know how it sound. Some man just sit down in a park and talk with himself about the deal. When the leader of the opposition attack, he said, "Sure, let me just go sit down. You need to go to a school for study how to talk to a gathering of people or the public, because you just not connect. Trust me, me not say me not like you. It has nothing to do with not like you. It just has something to do with your connection and how you speak. All when I try to talk in the Jamaican thing, it's still there. At that time, we don't connect. You wouldn't try to talk like Jamaican.
So Scratchy. Got it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Munta is saying that go with that connection at all.
I will talk about that already, neighbor. The way our Mark Golding talk, you can know that this man is fake. The worst thing Jamaicans hate is if someone try to act and try to talk like us. If you're natural, you can't even talk our dialect. You can't even use our dialect. You can't even speak like us. When you go on a platform and you're trying to talk like us, it's so fake and annoying to me, neighbor. I hate it. And I think this man needs to stop copying. He's not real. He's not connecting with us. He cannot reach the masses. Mark Golding is not. He's not someone who you can package and sell. He's just not ready. Trust me. And he conceded that himself, neighbor. He conceded that himself. Mark Golding is not in any way, shape, or form near our Prime Minister. Our Prime Minister can come down to the lowest man in Jamaica level and it don't seem like he's acting. And he can also go up to the highest level and it doesn't seem like he's acting. This is the type of person we want to lead us. Someone who understands both parts of Jamaica, the upper class and the lower class. Mark Golding is fake. When him talk, it's not connecting with us no time at all.
But Mr. Neighbor, he's describing his wife as African Jamaican. Are you kidding me? Don't insult me. Don't you ever dare insult me. I'm a Jamaican. My four parents was African, but me a Jamaican. That's an insult.
But she keep a man talk about him wife, him never talk about your baby. I know you mean that talk too.
But when you're right, because I'm not your wife a Jamaican. Well, you're right. I'm sorry, I apologize for that.
Delroy?
Yes, sir. Greetings. Neighbor, actually, and respect to the
man from
Devon.
Yes.
Someone is talking. Mute boss to the unit.
Top up the live and send the gifts, please.
I say you next, Devon. Someone else is talking already. Mute your mic, please, and just let the person finish who's talking.
Hold on, let me not see my mic.
You have to click on your screen. Click on your screen and you see a mic come up.
I can mute you. Okay.
Mute him, neighbor.
All right. Delroy.
Yeah, man. Greetings, neighbor. Greetings, everybody else. Actually, neighbor, you can refer to me as Gusto, but I represent what you see here. I refer to me as, But greetings nonetheless, though, sir.
Greetings, sir.
Yes, sir.
How do you comment on the party leaders? That's the PNP party leaders almost conceding the election. How you see that at this time?
Well, I see that very timely, and I'm very glad to know that he's self-destructing, because we wanted for him to destruct, and we never wanted to do it alone, because he does not deserve to not even sit in that opposition chair in Jamaica. I mean, a guy who would have benefited largely from the greatest transfer of wealth from the poor to the rich, and would have never came out and acknowledged the mistakes of the financial policies of his PMP then, and then still go back to the old wrecking ball, Mr. Pattison, who would have failed Jamaica miserably, is a further direct insult to the Jamaican people that, look, the PMP did what it did, and we must take it, hush that, and wheel and come again with them. No, the PMP must be held at ransom for the 40,000 businesses that they caused to lock down and also left Jamaica. Those impacts today has a lot to do with the hardship that many Jamaicans face today. The same PMP that Mark Golding is a part of, the same PMP that Mark Golding was a part of when the transfer of wealth was being done, taking it from the poor to the rich. So it should not be a case where he is even eligible to serve as an opposition leader. In fact, I think in some other countries, with that reality, he could not have sat not even in the opposition chair, as not even a member of parliament. He just does not have the right to serve Jamaica in neither capacity, not even as opposition. And when he went for the Pattison was furthermore disheartening, because Pattison's era are the modern era slavery, and it is undeniable, right? The people were made to toil for very little, and when they do got paid, it almost come like they were paid compensation and not a salary for their labor. And it is undeniable a lot of people today who suffer hardship in terms of like the generational poverty. A lot of them parents had it before the FinSac thing. A lot of them had it before the 40,000 businesses left Jamaica. So the hardships that are here in Jamaica now, the father for it are the PMP, because they mismanage the golden era of Jamaica. So therefore the hardship, the PMP can be seen as the grandmother, the grandfather, and the father for the hardship in Jamaica.
You are saying that the issues that we face today, some of the issues, social issues,
most of the issues, socio-economic issues, infrastructure issues, all of the gaps today can be pointed to the PMP.
But then how you answer the question about you've been in power for 9 years? How do you say let's
Jamaica has 14 parishes. Jamaica has 14 parishes. And when the PMP and all parishes has a role to play in the general development of Jamaica, not 10 parish, not 9 parish, the 14 has a role to play in one way, shape, or form in developing Jamaica. When the PMP would have had power and had control for several constituencies that they still have control over today, those constituencies and its contribution to society are minimal. In fact, those constituencies require a lot of state resources up to today. In fact, a lot of those constituencies that the PMP would have had for umpteen years and lost, those are the constituencies today bleeding the economy today in terms of investment or money put in place for all kind of developments to happen, because they were underdeveloped for many years and had the capacity to develop.
You have touched something that is fundamental. You are saying that the neglecting of the infrastructure in many constituencies is being corrected now, is part of the problem we are having in terms of resource constraint.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But my God, how you come up with that?
When you look at the amount of billions of dollars the Jamaica Labour Party, regardless of some roads might have gotten worse under the JLP, the fact that it started from PMP and its mismanagement in terms of not upkeeping our infrastructure island-wide, hence this big budget today for road infrastructure development across the island, meaning some communities and also in some constituencies have never seen Barbara Green before, has never seen Barbara Green before. Some constituencies, listen to this, neighbor, Jamaica can be described as, to the foreigners, the land of wood and water. It's the reason why Jamaica was described as the land of wood and water. Then why the PMP had so many people surrounded by water and had no running water in their pipes? Mismanagement. Have to be mismanagement, because the water in the pipe would come by magic. It would not happen by prayer. Actions of it back, whatever there. You understand me? So if the government structure was weak, it will not deliver.
Yes. Are you able to tell me some of these constituencies that had suffered neglect?
All right, Hanover. Hanover right now, that is controlled by Tamika Davis. Northeast St. Elizabeth, controlled now by Delroy Slowly. Westmoreland, that is now controlled by George Wright. And the other gentleman down in Westmoreland again. Mr. Lawrence. Daniel Lawrence. These men have mountains to climb in these constituencies.
And Delroy, to add to what you're saying, my brother, neighbor and the panel and the viewers, case in point, East Kingston and Port Royal, a constituency that has been controlled by the People's National Party for over 4 years.
The Spark program had to start there. The Spark program had to start there, Scratchy.
Yes, had to be launched in Mr. Philip. Port Royal, who didn't have no water for 30 odd years, was recently got no water. This is gross, inadequate neglect from the People's National Party. We have seen it. They have run down this country. Delroy is perfectly right. Money and resources that should have been funneled in education, security.
Let me give neighbor a prime example. A neighbor, you can probably Google this fact. The former mayor of Lucy, that is the longest serving mayor in Jamaica. The PMP mayor of Lucy, I forgot his name now. After losing office in 2023, he was out on the road with a placard demonstrating for water. The farmer mayor, the man what was responsible for bringing the commodity to the people. He was mayor for nearly 30 years. And 2 weeks after losing his seat as mayor, he was out on the street demonstrating for water.
From the JLP government.
From the JLP government.
Scratchy, what is his name?
It's right, a neighbor.
Anybody can remember my name for me?
Not to remember his name too.
I remember
a neighbor, these are all funds that should be funneled in the education system.
Monroe. Them same name is Bertel Monroe.
Funds that should go to the education, funds that should go to health, funds that should go to security. These funds are right now to be directed to doing some simple things that should have been done in that 18 and a half year that the PNP rule.
But isn't
Scratchy, hold on, neighbor, Scratchy, neighbor. It is the seed you plant today determine the fruit you reap tomorrow. Therefore, if the PNP made its mistake, the results are going to be pain and agony, because these economic policies that failed us had one outcome coming: pain and agony for the average Jamaican. The PNP ran out of ideas. The PNP, however, managed to stay relevant in the minds of Jamaican people as being good and party for the poor by doing this: taking the state's resources, both cash and otherwise, giving it directly to unskilled, illiterate people who have not even, some of them never even finished school properly. In that era, the education level was very low. These people needed training to excel in a further skills area where they're in already, and better literacy. The PNP does take its resources that it left, right, and center, the comrades. And those strategies were counterproductive strategies. Today, the government are putting in place policies and facilities that will provide Jamaicans with not sympathy, but an opportunity to come out of hardship. The PNP policies were of sympathy in hardship. The JLP is of a different agenda. Opportunity out of hardship. That is the way to go forward.
Oh, before we somebody else. Yes.
What if I can tell you, sir, as much as even the indiscipline that we face on our roads today can be laid squarely at the feet of the PNP.
Social erosion.
Social erosion. During the collapse of the 90s, when all these companies were shutting down, most people who get them to pay off, only option was to go buy one little car and go try run some taxi. Within a span of 2 years, the amount of taxi on the road moved from 100 to 5,000.
And Chuck, to add to what you're saying with tax, Chuck, we have seen a massive decline in the amount of robot taxes that were used to be on our roads. There isn't that much illegal taxes again on the road.
You know why, Scotchy?
Because the government has put in policies and programs to make it easier for taximen to gain their license to operate as legal operators of taxi.
Well, your hand is something, but I can break it down a little more for you. Taximan used to have to join a car in a group. So you have like a hero leader, taximan, who collect money from them and then apply for the route license. What the Andrew Williams administration has done is that every single taximan now can drive in the transport authority and pay for him route himself. But them cut out the in between, man.
Dalbert, mute your mic, Dalbert.
The taximan them couldn't believe it that it was so easy to get their road license. They couldn't believe it. They were shocked because I have some of them who work with me. Them can't believe over the years when them have to pay money in parts to an association to get the license.
120 people on the live. Tap up the live.
Tap up the screen, guys. Tap up the screen and share the live, guys.
Tap up the screen. Come on, send some likes. Come on, send your
You
gifts.
have a natural warrior. You have a natural warrior in your country.
Tap it up, tap it up. Come on. If you not go hear no story, you know. You love story.
Yes, neighbor.
Tap up the live.
We have had in Jamaica today the lowest crime figures in February in 25 years.
Whoa.
What do you have to say about that?
All right, with this crime thing now, you can remember a couple years ago, neighbor, where the PNP was all over the government asking for crime plan. Where is the crime plan? Where is the crime plan? What are your plans towards crime? Crime is not something that happens overnight. So crime is not something that is gonna fix overnight. It's a process, and we are now reaping the benefit of that process, neighbor. The government put in place the apparatus, put in place the policies and the programs to make the police forces, the security forces, not just the police, but both even the military, much more firmer and much more stronger. And I must say this, I cannot stop without saying this. Citizens of Jamaica, the government has done its part in security, and it is now our time as law-abiding citizens to add to what the government is doing or has done, and add to the reduction in crime much more further. We can do it. It is now our time. Once we stand up against crime, guys, there can never be no crime. The last survey said that Jamaica has about 10,000 criminals operating in the country. If we have 10,000 criminals, we cannot let 10,000 criminals dictate the pace of our country. It is our time now to stand up against these 10,000 criminals and say enough is enough. Again, neighbor, when this government took office, there were 350 active gangs operating across Jamaica. That has now cut to almost 110. So the government is making massive improvement towards crime.
But the lowest in 25 years, Scratchy. This is a tremendous achievement, eh?
Tremendous achievement. Hence, we have seen the surplus in businesses that are coming into the country now and want to invest. Crime, neighbor, when you're going into a country to invest, your first thing that persons are going to look at is your economy and your crime. How are you guys with crime? And we have seen where the government has now have a 20% decrease in crime. And we have seen where returning residents who are living overseas now are also planning on coming back home to invest in Jamaica land we love.
Chuck, what is it that we should point to for these figures?
What?
One law? Chuck is for the thing. Chuck, what is driving down the crime figures?
Investment that this government has made in our national security is responsible. And I believe one of the lesser main contributor is that citizens. Bridget, mute up there. Citizens have more confidence in the police force now, and the police are now getting more information from citizens, as well as the technological capabilities of the police is way above what it was. Right? So the investment that this government has made is simply bearing fruit.
to add to that, economically, no, the reasons for youth wanting to turn to illicit gains for opportunity because they were scarce. Well, those factors too can be attributed to the good economy. Meaning, so we have the lowest unemployment rate in Jamaica. More youths are becoming gainfully occupied. Therefore, it is now becoming a reality to many youths that look, you don't have to always go the illicit gains way to get a money or a stable life going. So the JLP in many ways, not only in the crime fighting ways alone directly, have helped crime to reduce, but also the economic measures and stability of the economy. I want to mute them neighbor because that's my feedback, to be honest.
Yeah, mute Dalbert.
So the stability of the economy, it boils back down to the individuals. Therefore, when youth used to be unattached and then join into the life of crime because of being unattached and because they have the excuse, say no opportunity no exists, know that those words, them not stand up strong again because opportunities exist across Jamaica. You might live in an area, in a constituency that is not conducive to development at the time, but there are other developments happening across Jamaica in neighboring parish or constituencies where people can utilize. You understand me? So now, less people shop and get breaking into island-wide. You know what I mean? Less hungry youths without options or opportunity. Now, if you have broke people place now because they get a chance to be gainfully occupied, minimum wage increase. So those factors too help drive down crime.
And to add to what Delroy said about, this is something that a lot of persons did not know. Jamaica, just by the sea, there is 128 ways to enter this country by the sea. Hence the reason for the government improvement in acquiring surveillance plane, helicopters, and more ships. These are what we are doing. We are plugging the holes. We are plugging these loops holes. Check over the past 9 years since this government has been in power, neighbor. We have seized and stopped the introduction of more guns than ever coming into this country. Yeah. Case in point, more recently, 66 guns that were coming in.
Make we hear Mr. Morgie. Morgie?
Yeah, man. Greetings, gentlemen.
Morgie, 47 murders in Jamaica in February. I mean, one is one too much, but we're making progress here, eh?
Yeah, man, I did a video on it this morning. I don't know if you guys saw it. As I got up this morning, it was the first thing I saw that St. James had only 24 murders since the start of the year, which is very, very heartening when compared to the last year. A parish like St. James, which was normally one that led in terms of murders, is only at 24. Tremendous work by the police and I want to first of all commend the government, and you can watch a video after I'm done. I published that video this morning saying the very same thing, so I don't know if you guys watched it. But the government, I think three things I saw that most have an effect on crime and perhaps has led to the decline. One of them was the bail, not the Bail Act. The Bail Act is one of them, but it's not fully done with. But the legislation that in respect to the higher penalties for gun-related crimes must be a factor. I mean, people knowing that if you're caught with a gun, you're going to spend at least minimum 15 years in prison. Definitely going to drive some fear into those who would normally do something like that. The anti-gang legislation has been modified, and it is targeted at gangs, and that too is very effective. As a former police officer myself, when you put a man like Blake, Dr. Kevin Blake, in charge of police himself, and normally we have commissioners who are JDF personnel, and it's not a bad thing to have military trained people at the helm, but I don't think in respect to understanding the streets and the prosecution part of the policing that they're going to be extremely are more effective than the regular people from within the ranks of the police force. I think to choose a police as a commissioner is the right way to go. And I am particularly impressed with this one. I've worked on about 3 commissioners, and this one has a sort of vibes about it. The men and women, I talk to them every day. I'm still in my group and my batch group and all that. We talk every day. And they are inspired, they are motivated. So they're having more operations, more targeted operations, and they're getting more support from people like us who know that's an initiative by government with an interest in lowering the crime figures. So,
but why is it more that
them like this? They are encouraged, believe me.
This is big news, you don't think?
It is absolutely, and you know, we are talking about media. I heard Mr. Golding saying that the JLP had brought out media. Absolute nonsense. The media is not doing justice to a decline. This should have been headline. I mean, the reduction since the start of the year is something that has to be followed up and monitored. And every newscast, every news station, I beg your pardon, should be highlighting this almost on a daily, if not weekly, report, because this is significant. And it sells so much about the Jamaica Labour Party that it seems to me that they don't want to be broadcasting the positives about this government. And I feel that it's a deliberate ploy not to be advertising what we're going through, because it's tremendous. It's a big accomplishment.
It is.
From where we're coming from. I disagree with some of your members, some of these. I mean, we are labor rights, but it doesn't mean that we won't have disagreements. And I don't think that poverty has effect in any substantial way on crime and violence. I'm sorry, it's not a popular view that I hold, but I don't think it is. And I tell you why. There are countries in Africa and other places in the world, in Asia, where the cost of living, life is just harder, but the crime figures are low. So it doesn't follow that the more impoverished you are, then the more intentional you will have more crime. It doesn't follow. We have a cultural issue, apart from, and it's politically motivated in many regards, and I blame the PNP for that culture that we have developed. This gunmanship, this extortion thing, and you kill people.
Margie, social exclusion,
yes,
inadequate education, lack of access to education does create and can contribute to crime, though.
Yes, sir, because it makes crime enticing. You know why? Those prerequisites are not needed to enter the life of crime.
Yeah,
you don't need those prerequisites to enter the life of crime. And also, as he said initially, we might not need to agree. But when I mentioned that earlier argument, crime has categories. So in terms of the way that I meant it, sir, I would have made a specific reference, for example, to say the break-ins have also declined. So while you could attribute to, say, violent crimes are not always connected with poverty, and so, well, we agree in that sense. But, sir, the fact that people cannot be hungry, and under the PMP, more people were more destitute and desperate. They probably never had the intention of being hardened criminals, but they probably had families to move to try to feed them family. Not to say they're criminal, though they would have carried out a criminal move, but the disparity and the scarce opportunity and resources would have made them walk into the life of crime in that category, but not exactly or entirely violent crime.
All right, sir. I am in agreement with that. There must be some truth to that. Yeah, I agree.
And again, neighbor, crime in Jamaica is not just one contributing factor. I think it's a multifaceted. It's more than one factor that makes up the whole crime.
But social scientists and public officials have long identified poverty as a root cause of crime, and it is not the only cause, but it has a significant role to play.
Yes, it does. But it's not the only cause.
Not at all. Dalbert, you wanted to say something? Dalbert.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon.
I just wanna good afternoon, man. I just wanna say, man, make sure you protect that. Yes, I'm in America. Yeah, I'm here 19 years now.
Soon I suspect.
Yeah, but I used to be scared of down there too, man. So when I saw this guy working so hard, the commissioner working so hard, I watch it on the YouTube all the times, man, to see what he's doing to make sure the place is good. Lucy, where I'm from, man, I went down there sometimes. I don't remember the time, but I look on the road, man, it's so bad. I can't believe I was saying what you guys saying about the PMP. That's real. They rule that place so long and nothing going on there. Yeah, I mean, the road is so bad. I see some real potholes. I mean, some of my friends here, they don't want to go back because the crime gets so high down there as well. So, so when we sat down and watch the commission doing this targeting thing, we appreciate that fit, really much. And we said the Jamaican people, We need all of you guys to go behind this man and give him strength.
You're encouraging Jamaicans to support Holdings.
One of the problems I have, when I worry, and I must admit that I'm worried, a little bit worried that there are so many Jamaicans who still think that the PNP is viable inside. What the PNP wants, if they should win this election, it would be the best period for them. I tell you why. Things are looking so good for the future that they would want to inherit this work, this hard work, that people have lost lives, lost sleep, lose all kind of things to build a country. And then when things are on a certain trajectory, you'd want to come and inherit it and say, well, 3 or 5 years, things are looking good, so you do this. I don't want that to happen, not that damn. I don't think Jamaicans should be so silly as to put the PNP in charge of something they couldn't have established in the first place. It's hard work, gentlemen. And to
agree.
The JLP must stand to reap the benefits, and it is indicative of all of us.
100% agree, sir. But I'm looking.
Represent the party and let the Prime Minister know that we are behind you. We support you 100% and give them that confidence that we are moving in the right direction. I think we have
100% agree. I agree with you 100%. The guy, he know what he's doing, man. He's setting up the place the right way. I look on a little thing what they put online.
It's not overnight, and it takes time. And 9 years is not long enough. But I'm proud of what we've accomplished in 9 years. And how things are looking for the future. Very proud of what is going on.
I was looking on the print.
Also, it is crucial to note, it is crucial to note that the PNP would have designed a lot of these garrisons that would have plagued the adjoining constituencies and communities will surround them. But it also taken away a lot of resources from the state because these rampant crime activities under the PNP. This is how it set up the economy to struggle under the same PNP. So whilst the PNP was never growing the economy, nor creating job opportunities for the average people, and crime was so high, hear how the state's resources were bled now. Listen. So when you have crime so rampant, and most of the times a males that get unalive, most of the times in some cases, some of these males, be it criminals or not, I get unalive, left all 4 pitney, the most, some of them 3. When you dead left 4 pitney, and you did the breadwinner, or if you did a criminal, but me I try. If you go cater for these child or these children where you dead left, right? So therefore, they're in a society and when you did in a hit, you're never productive. And so you still meet a demise in a way where you could have avoided. But now you're left behind responsibilities. And it is the government's responsibility to make sure they take care of its people and the most vulnerable. All of these counterproductive happenings took place under the PNP. You understand me? And then remember now, feeding prisoners and investment and development that all PNP did was created a society of criminals. So today when you go up and lock them up now, you have to spend a bag of money in the prison system because I want to hold it for them in there. This if the PNP did took the right measures, there more would be so much, and also the budget to deal with it would be so much. Them the money there could have been channeled in other productive areas. So you see how the PNP is to Jamaica?
Of what Nationwide is reporting on this statement made by Mark Gordon. Listen to this.
They have a very tough time dislodging the JLP from government. In a meeting with party supporters held recently in Hartford, Connecticut, Mr. Golding lamented that the PNP's message is not being boosted by the media.
Essentially, we have a very difficult task ahead of us. Yeah. But if Jamaica doesn't get a change of government now, I don't know what kind of state we're going to be. Because we have a corrupt government and a power-hungry government, and they're supported by the elite, and the media is bought out by them too. So it's not an easy road to trod the road that we are treading, comrades. It's not going to be easy to get them out because the news, the things that we put out don't get covered. Even today, there's a poll being run right now. It's independent. I think it was paid for by some business people. Don Anderson poll. The key metric in any poll is voter intention. Who do you intend to vote for? That's the key metric. Today they published it on a Saturday, which is the lowest sales of any newspaper day. When it shows that the PNP is 5% ahead. We were at 9 at the end of September. So we have come off a bit. The Labour Party hasn't got any of that. They're where they were. It's undecided that have grown. In the meantime, they have had their conference, they have had the Spark program, they've had the reserve income tax credit, which is essentially a $20,000 grant to over 300,000 people. They've just been spending money to try and get themselves back to where they were. And we have been a bit cautious in putting out our ideas because we have found on multiple occasions that they tend to be appropriated by the Labour Party. And then they're so powerful in the media and their communications is so strong, it's very difficult for us to set the narrative to show that we were the originators of that idea. And so we are trying to time our release so that we don't suffer from that. But in the meantime, we have held our own in the polls. And I think when we start to now reveal what we intend to do for the people, we will see the growth.
Mark Golding, the opposition leader, speaking to PNP supporters in Hartford, Connecticut on the weekend. Well, he's coming under political heat. Yes, he's facing heat this evening for those comments. Returning to the president of the Press Association of Jamaica, Deshaun Hendricks, political commentator and editor-in-chief of the Western Mirror newspaper, Lloyd B. Smith, as well as public commentator Dr. Nadine Spence. Good afternoon, gentlemen and lady. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Chris.
Good afternoon. Deshaun Hendricks.
Good afternoon, Ricardo.
Good afternoon. Let me start with you, Mr. President. Your members have been bought out by this JLP government.
A lot when you ask me, because I would find it really and truly egregious if there is any belief among any government or opposition that a media landscape in Jamaica, as diverse as we are, can be bought out. I don't know how you buy out the media in Jamaica.
I can't believe the hype. Boy, I tell you something. This is all very exciting.
The opposition leader seems to be suggesting that because the government has this...
Scratchy. Scratchy?
Yes, neighbor.
Yeah. What you make of that?
One thing for sure, though, neighbor, I would definitely agree with the opposition leader when he said that the communication is very strong of the government.
What angle?
I think yes, we have a very strong communication arm where we're pushing the message of the Jamaica Labour Party here on these platforms and social media, where we're being factual and we are pushing each and every day to spread the good work of the government. I would definitely agree with him that our communication has been strong.
Has improved.
I don't think our communication is strong enough.
No, not from a government point of view. So I said on the social media, from a social media point of view. From a party's point of view, the parties are, I mean, Margie, if you should look at this rebound, if you should call it, of the governing party, Margie, you would definitely have to give some of this contribution to where the party is at. The message that is being spread by social media.
Of course, I understand that and I recognize it. I think we can do better though. That's what I'm saying.
From the party's point now, is the party that need to come now and take the lead after the launch of the campaign. But from a social media point, I think we are doing very well, and we have done a lot.
Scotty, you're using an earpiece?
No, I'm not. You hear me better now?
The line is scratching, you know, like some connection slack or something.
Oh, yeah, hear me better now?
Yes, it's on better.
Yeah, man. So yes, as I said again, Margie, I think a lot of credit should be given to social media for pushing the message of this Jamaica Labour Party. Margie, if you look back at from after the last local government election, the party was down. We kind of push up back. If you see the PNP has lost 4 percentage points, yet still the party is here pushing the message. And the official campaign has not been launched. But we have still been able to resonate. Margie, if you look at our social media platform, you look at the persons who come on these platforms sometime and speak, your persons are saying, yes, I didn't know that. Based on what you guys have said, I will now be voting for the Jamaica Labour Party. The communication here on social media, it is working and it will continue to push the party over the line coming into the election. combined with the launch of a national campaign from the Jamaica Labour Party itself.
Listen a little bit more to
I don't want to think that
hold on.
Thinking. He's not at all thinking. How can you go to America to talk to Americans, even if they're Jamaican Americans in a time like this, and calling our government wicked and corrupt in America at this time in America? It doesn't make any sense to me. I feel as if he's not thinking, and he has lost perspective.
The man is under pressure, though, you know, Dr. Spence. He's under pressure. He realizes that he is losing ground. He has lost momentum, and his personal standing is also weakening considerably so since September last year now. Lloyd B. Smith, you're at the Western Mirror. You have been bought out by the JLP?
I have never been bought out by either the JLP or the PNP. Let me say that very clearly, which is one of the reasons why I quickly exited the political scene after a while, because I will not allow myself to be bought out by anyone. If you look at the history of politics in Jamaica, as far back as I can recall, hello?
Yes, we're hearing you, Lloyd.
May I go ahead?
Yes.
If you look at the history of media and politics in Jamaica, as far back as one can go, this is par for the course. Both political parties, when it suits them, have launched various attacks against the media. I think in this case, though, Mr. Golding needs to apologize, and I'll tell you why. As was pointed out by Lenina a while ago, he ought not to have made such a statement in another country, especially a country such as the United States, where we know what's happening there now. Secondly, he was you can't make such a sweeping statement. I mean, if he had said some persons or some media, it's most regrettable, and it covers all of us in the media, and I take umbrage for that. Secondly, though, I think it's almost and it's ridiculous when he then goes on to say that the JLP is being supported by the top echelons of the society. I don't know where that is going. I really think that Mr. Golding had a bad hair day, for what it is worth, and obviously is under a lot of pressure politically. We have been hearing that internally he has been getting some amount of pushback from certain elements in his own party, and also the polls have shown some amount of decline in his own standing and so on. And maybe it's getting to him, but he needs to rewind and come again. I think it's unfortunate what has been said. It's the silly season that is upon us, and he has to be very careful.
Oh gosh!
The baby with the bathwater.
Hi, Lloyd B. Smith. It's often said that he who complains loudest is usually the one that's losing. Do you think that's the case here?
It could be to a very large extent. Yes, I would agree with that. And somebody needs to sit Mr. Golding down and let him know how to deal with the media. The worst thing that any politician can do is to attack the media, because in the very fair analysis, you're going to need the media. So what you need to do, if you have some concerns with the media, then you find ways and means of meeting with media managers or editors in a forum that is not, contentious or abrasive or offensive, and you work out some kind of understanding as to the way forward. And if you have certain specific grievances, you bring them to the fore and let them be dealt with accordingly. But you can't just come out and make a sweeping statement that the media is bought out. No, it is a very regrettable statement.
Lloyd B., you've been around for a long, long time. Yes? Is there precedence for a political leader this close to an election in an intense election campaign this is shaping up to be, to utter the words that Mark Golding uttered, that it's going to be very difficult to dislodge the government? It's going to be hard, comrades. Yeah? Why do you say that? Doesn't that reflect his political lack of political nous?
Can we say naivety, perhaps? It is a self-defeating statement because if at this stage, when according to the polls, although there has been some amount of decrease in the PNP's overall fortunes as well as himself, but there is still some kind of positive trajectory and all the everything is put together. Why then would he want to make it look as if the PNP and himself are in a state of desperation? Because that is how it sounded to me. And that is unfortunate. I mean, go out and do the work, go out and do things and do what you have to do. This statement, I think, suggests as if you're almost throwing in the towel or about to throw in the towel. I've never heard this kind of statement made by a political leader in Jamaica before. Never. What do you hear a political leader saying something like that?
What do you make of that, Dr. Spence? What is that indicating?
Yeah, I think he sounded very defeated and despondent in his tone of voice. That's why I referenced their report use of the word complaining. I think he's setting up an argument for a PNP law. He's already started to put together the text for that law. And part of it is, you might say, in all of that assessment of the PNP's fortune, isn't the leader looking at what the PNP has done to itself? Not just this go round, but from the outing of Peter Phillips. Because a lot of PNP supporters are carrying resentment from that, and he should have thought about how all of that is going to figure into his prospects as he enters the race for Prime Minister. And so to not accept fully the future group of comrades and not fully accept his own part in what by his posture is happening now is suggesting to me that he is looking for excuses to put out there because he believes that the PNP is not going to. I think he believes that they are not going to win. You can hear it in his voice.
Dashan Hendricks, Lloyd B suggests some kind of sit down, perhaps, between the media and the opposition to try to soothe any misunderstandings or any tensions. Would the PAJ be open to that?
Yeah, probably at the time I got cut off, it came because.
Scratchy?
A neighbor, again, lest we not forgetting a neighbor, that it was this opposition party led by no less a person than Mark Golding, who recently, up to a couple months ago, held a media mingle where we saw, do you remember that media mingle, neighbor?
Yes.
Where we saw a member, where we keep a brunch or a mingle, whatever they want to call it, with members of the media, of the press association who was in presence, and we were saying that this cannot be ethically right for an opposition party to be hosting a mingle for media practitioners, and now Mark Golding is coming again.
Scratchy.
Bridget, didn't we say earlier that this is exactly what?
No, you do it as a government where you keep something with the press association. This wasn't held with the press association. This was a media mingle led by the opposition leader, Bridget.
The opposition is conceding the election. Is that what they're saying?
Neighbor.
Yeah, but
yes.
Yeah. And
Bridget,
hold on there. One of the things that he said that was most disturbing to me is the neighbor, when he said the government, the $20,000 tax reverse, the government is spending. He's insinuating like as if the government is giving away money, recklessly. You know what I mean? He did not explain it to them that well, he said 300 and had persons, none, and it was non-political. If you pay your taxes, earn less than 3 million, I think Scratchy can correct me if I'm wrong. You could have applied for it in your bedroom. My friend stayed right in New York here. He was here when it was happening. He stayed right in my living room, put it on his laptop, got his answer, and when he went down, his 20,000 was in his bank account. You understand me? So it is very disturbing to hear Mark politicizing something like that when Jamaicans were able to benefit from it in a non-partisan way. It was very disturbing.
Let me add to that.
Gentlemen, we have to cut out 2 minutes. I'll join you guys back. All right?
Yeah, man, later. We're going on.
Neighbor, but could just face reality now and don't forget that God is a real thing. You think God will go watch a prime minister who dedicate himself in a passionate way with loyalty and integrity to his people, or go allow people to just slander him in the most distasteful way, bring him to the lowest, false allegations are because of power? You think the tears of joy when the prime minister put on some people's face are going to go in vain? You think the prayers that people pray for the man are going in vain? You see, I make no excuses for reaction. Even for myself, sometimes I have to end up a place with Andrew Holness. I feel it some my time. I feel it to my bone for no say I take a power. Take a power so much of my Jamaican people them I get misled along the wrong path by Mark Gold and the PNP and him surrogates. It shouldn't be the case. It should never be the case. They must vie for political office fairly. Don't do that to people. I don't like that outside of politics. I'm going to show you now. If you outside of politics, nobody don't want nobody bring them down in a no false way. And even when some of them guilty, then still don't want you hold them to a certain way. They must say, you can't let you go now. But yet them feel it is okay to follow allegations by somebody else or because of politics. It is not right in a politics. Accuse people if you're not able to prove things.
And neighbor, to clear up what Bridget, to just make some clarity, Bridget, if you are hosting the media, Bridget, you send your invitation to the Press Association of Jamaica. The Press Association wasn't the organization that the People's National Party sent this invitation to. It was certain selective media houses nationwide wasn't even invited to this media meeting or brunch.
Yeah, I know.
Listen to this. Listen.
Political commentator. Thank you all so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too. Here's something that I can't quite square. This is the same Mark Golding who said the Jamaican people needs to give himself and his Topanaris friends a chance at government. My Jamaican dictionary tells me Topanaris, those are the elites.
Exactly.
So I don't know if Mr. Golding can have it both ways.
No, he can't.
If he has the friends that are elites that he wants to put in place in government, I don't know how you can say then that the same Topanaris, the same elites are on the side of the government.
I said it this morning, the PNP is facing an issue of a failure of leadership. Golding, we know, is a political novice. Before he had leadership thrusted upon him, before he was ready. In 2020 it was? Yes, he was not ready. Yeah? And their options were limited. And his weakness and inexperience are being laid bare because he's not ready yet for the top job. And under the glare and intensity of a campaign, yeah, with moments like these, when he recognizes that his poll numbers are plummeting 4 or 5 months before an election at best, that is what you get. Panic. Yeah?
You shouldn't speak the language of defeat, Mr. Golding. It's not a good look.
That's not what leadership is about. Now is the time to roll up your sleeves, motivate your activists, your organizers, and say we have a fight on our hands, and we're going to fight. Because when we fight, we win.
Kamala Harris.
There you go, Delroy.
And what persons need to understand to the neighbor, Mark Golding ascendance as a leader of the opposition, It's the first time Mark Golding has been in a leadership position as a leader, In all of Mark Golding business ventures coming up, Mark Golding was never the front man. He was always been a second. Mark Golding is not a good leader. He doesn't possess certain leadership qualities. If you check back all of Mark Golding business ventures, he has never been the front man. he is always the second or the third. So his ascendance as a leader, the opposition leader right now, is showing up his leader qualities that he's a very poor leader.
But Scratchy, to piggyback on what you're saying, Scratchy, remember that Rhoda Crawford is a person who really fling a sledgehammer in the PNP cabinet, you know, because Mr. Bundy was supposed to take over the party, but after the election, he didn't have a seat. So he had to draw for Mr. Golding, his best friend.
No, it was before the election. Remember, he lost the run after Peter Phillips.
No, that was the internal election, but there was a deal.
How was he going to get the leadership on him last year? He lost to Peter Phillips.
No, the deal is Peter Phillips would resign if he lost the election.
No, the PNP party is not a party like that. They believe in running off. They don't just give seats.
Guys, we're going up until 7 o'clock. Protecting?
1 minute before protecting come. I was saying in a Scratchy that Mark Golding start cry, and you know the green clocks are put on yet, you know, baby.
Exactly,
Bridget. Put on yet. So exactly. I don't know how more manage when the clocks go on. You know who ma feel, you know, say the bloggers them ma feel. He ma feel the real blunt yet because the ads them not start licking yet. The MPs them not start come out a campaign against him yet. And the bloggers them make him feel it, you know, nobody else. Because the real machinery is not out there yet. So I don't know how I'm going to stand up to the real machinery.
Styling?
This lady knows what I was about to remind us. I have been repeating this on the platform for the past 2 months. You guys hearing me?
We are hearing you, sir.
Yeah, for the past 2 months, I've been repeating it on the platforms that any good that the JLP is doing in the polls, it is because of our activities online. Because the JLP haven't yet started their campaigning. And so, right now,
100%.
Right now, Mark Golding, he's talking about communication. Which communication? It was about the 2nd or the 3rd week of January that the party started to communicate officially. So what am I talking about? What is he talking about?
So protecting. So is the impact of the Labour Party's momentum that Golding is actually going abroad to admit that the party can win?
It isn't his first. Every chance Mark Golding get on, he traveled abroad to discuss Jamaica. He's always downgrading Jamaica, denigrating Jamaica. He's always putting Jamaica in a bad light to the people that he sits in front of. A matter of fact, I don't know who for basement Mark Golding was in Saturday. But the whole of them look like them clingled up in a somebody but basement in a Connecticut. And he had an opportunity again to sell the Jamaica that he's benefiting from. Remember, Mark Golding started a company in the middle of the prosperity economy, you know. I hear that it's about 5 or 6 companies. So Mark Golding is benefiting from the prosperity economy. And these idiots, many of them who haven't even visited Jamaica in about 20, 30 years, sit down and make this numbskull. I tell them something about them countries, about them country. It is the same man, you know, who have been telling the government for the past 4 years, you know, do something for the people, do something for the people. Now when the government give a tax return of $20,000 to the people, in bad mind it. You know, she say, what the Prime Minister have been saying all along is a bunch of bad mind people. A matter of fact, it must be bad mind for them rob 44,000 Jamaicans, because that's what he and his best friend did. Because only bad mind make people rob people.
The analysts are saying protecting Jamaica that this is a concession. It's almost a concession of the election, and that it's not going to play well among comrades.
They are fighting inside the party. Again, I've been saying that for the past 6 months, because somebody tell me say a dog fight a galang in there. They try to put on a united front when them come in front of the public and them know say somebody camera go catch them. But Philip, whenever I go too far, Philip Paul told us in January that he's tired of being leader of opposition business in the parliament. He wants to be leader of the party. And a lot of people were saying, really? Me no surprised. Them a fight like dog in there. And it is only going to manifest itself as we get closer to the election and the pressures abound. Then we are going to start seeing the cracks. This is one of the first cracks. And don't be surprised if the PMP tell you that they're not contesting the next election.
You mean they cannot afford, they would not be able to deal with the effects of a loss?
They will not be united enough to come together to launch a sensible campaign or to sustain a campaign. And again, the race is not for the swift, but those who can endure. Them batter Andrew go, them batter Andrew come. Them have TV, them drive through the mud. When Seymour Pantanim ready in left out an office gone up a Gleaner and get interview. And I saw him and Gleaner, TVJ, RJR, IRFM, KLAS, the whole of them have Andrew. Left, right, and center through the mud. And when they can't find nothing more to talk about, they say nose big. Now, Andrew sit down and he don't even respond to them. Not even the inner door Andrew no say. And now, all know Andrew no say nothing to this man, you know. And him start buckling under pressure already. I keep telling the team for the past couple of weeks, put them under pressure. We came back into the space and we take over the space from the idiot them where they have in a space and represent them. Be handicapped. We have them under pressure and we feel proud of ourselves. And going forward, anything you see the party, ring the bell and start the campaign. But sorry for them. They might not contest this election.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening.
Good evening.
I just support everybody's point, and I have said it. I remember when the report about the Prime Minister went to Parliament dropped, and we realized there was nothing incriminating in that report. And one of the things that I did that very same evening, I think it was Chops who was live, I had to say to everybody that was standing with us here on TikTok that we appreciate them, and we had to tap ourselves on the shoulder. Because if it wasn't for us, there wouldn't have been no Andrew Holness. The report dropped in Parliament. I don't remember. I think it was 3 o'clock. I think it was 3 o'clock, Bridget. And by 3:15, 1,000 headlines from the Gleaner. That comes back to why the Gleaner faced a lawsuit from Query, and they won because they never spent time to go through the report to see what was in the report before they start making the headlines, right? And that again was evident with the Prime Minister. They put out the headlines, and up until today, there is no correction to the fact that, the Prime Minister does not own a charity. The Prime Minister does not own 28 bank accounts. The Prime Minister does not have $430 million. None of those stuff were corrected until this day. It was a group of us. We got an accountant, and we made sure that we tear the report apart. A group of us, we went through it,
the night,
and we came here and we sat and we went through that report. We never come here and say, at this we think or that we think. No, we jumped on a WhatsApp call, about 10 of us, and we went through it. We asked questions that what we think we wanted to know. We picked the report apart. When people came and said, but this, we were able to answer with the evidence. We would say, tell us which page you said that, because when that is on X page, we can go to Y page and show you where that was corrected. So as everybody has been saying, it is not the work of even Belmont Road as yet that we're seeing this impact. It is
Them
the
did
work
fast
of
asleep,
us,
They
the
were
bloggers.
fast asleep, Rashika.
And I will tell you this as well. While we were here fighting, a lot of people weren't with us, a lot of labor rights, never there with we.
Wow.
Because the fact that it was said that the Prime Minister was corrupt, right? A lot of labor shun away.
Believed too.
Yes, a lot of them
true.
believed.
That's true.
When right after that report dropped and we came here on TikTok and pull it apart, that's when we saw a resurgence of the labor rights. They can tell you that. We noticed that immediately. Right after that, people like myself, Chuck, Bridget, enough of us, and Gusto, Winner, we didn't have to really be going live so much again because we have more help now, because right after that a resurgence of the labor rights was seen on TikTok. But agreed, it is not the Belmont Road. I would say it is bloggers. I spoke to Rhoda the other day because she was on a live late morning, and we spoke later on in the morning, and she said, listen to me, I want to put the party where the party they know. She said that.
True.
She said that to me. She said it in private, but I think I can repeat it. She said it is you guys shift the narrative for the party. Rhoda Crawford said that to me when I spoke to her.
Of course.
She said, no, she said, she said, man, sometimes we go in and we bed in our neighbor. We husband no want to see we, you know. We wife no want to see we, you know, neighbor. You hear me say?
Yes.
Chuck used to say to me, say, right, Chuck used to say to me, say, Chuck used to tell me, say, Sheikah, make sure you fix up the house before you come and live at night time. You know? So, but I can tell you this, she said to me, it is the bloggers' work that we are seeing for the Jamaica Labour Party. She literally said to me, say, I wanna save we. She said that. She went on further to say that we're going to have to come into the space more because I didn't know these are the things that were happening on lives. She said that. So congratulations to everybody who has been doing the work and who continue to do it.
But Lashika, the victory is going to be on election night when when the electoral office makes that declaration, eh?
Let me tell you something.
So how are the bloggers to be responding at now? How is the party to respond from here? Because quite frankly, you can't get complacent.
No, all right, and this is what I'm going to, this is the point I was just about to make, because I think I figured that's where your question was going to go. Bloggers like myself is not seeking anything from the party. What we have always been clamoring for is more help from the party. If what we are putting out here and the days we spend and the nights we spend out here and we're getting more support from them, we can reach more people and we can better secure a victory for the Jamaica Labour Party.
I wonder, Lashika, cumulatively across TikTok now, I wonder how many persons are on a JLP live. You want to make a guesstimate?
A lot of people consider this as a JLP live, and this is 180 persons. I know Politics and Sports is live, and when I checked over there was 100 person over there. There are other people live, so we are definitely getting a lot more traction. And what I really appreciate from even the people that don't comment and don't speak a lot is that I am being informed, and that is what is important for me. If you have 100 people on a live and them not hear nothing constructive, there's no information there. It don't make no sense. But if you have 10 persons on the live and they're being informed, they're able to go and spread the information, then that is a good thing. You know, so numbers do matters, but the information is what's paramount for me.
You see, one of the things is, you know, the people who are not willing to showcase which side they support, they will watch and listen from the FYP and not come in. And I want whole heap of people listen to the live them on FYP, whole heap. And I feel like them, I'm one time I said,